I hate you. Hello, Ramen Nation. Chris Cobain here, and it is time now for week 5, right? 5, yeah, of the National Pokemon Association. And the Philadelphia Braviaries are going up against NumbNexus and the Pittsburgh Pichus. So last week we suffered our first loss of the season. The entire game was littered in RNG, both for me and against me. But it was a really, really fun game. My favorite game we've had of the season. And I'm feeling good after the loss, to be honest. Like last season's loss really hurt me. But in the regular season anyway. But this loss doesn't really affect me too much. I'm still feeling very confident about the team and the rest of the season. So we're not looking too far back and worrying about the loss that last week. We're just moving on and trying to keep the record positive. So as I said, this week we're going up against NumbNexus, literally one of the biggest PokeTubers on the planet. Really, really cool guy. Really, really good. Really good YouTuber. Really good. And he's a pretty good battler too. So that's definitely kind of worrisome. So far in the season, I believe he's 1-3. He's got a couple of just, you know, stupid losses, things like that, RNG style stuff, just stuff you'd expect from Pokemon, you know what I mean? So, but he's definitely a good battler. His record does not reflect his battling skills, and this is a battle I'm taking very, very seriously for obvious reasons. So, let's go ahead and take a look at his team this week, guys. We're starting off with Scizor, as you'd imagine. That's something I'm kind of familiar with, considering my Pokemon's Mega Scizor. He does everything that Mega Scizor does. He's a little weaker, a little less bulky, a little slower, pretty much. But he does all the same stuff. Swords Dance Roost, he's still a very good Swords Dance Rooster. Just because he loses that bulk, do not take that lightly. Very good at that. The one thing he can do that Mega Scizor can is run a real item. So he can be lefties, he can be banded. That's always terrifying, 100%. He can be some sort of, if he wants to kind of run like an Akka Berry, which I believe is the fire one. Don't quote me on that, I'm bad. I feel like it's Akka. But to try to take fire attacks of some sort, maybe hidden power fire, he sees coming. Obviously, the bullet punch, U-turn, knockoff, superpower is what he typically runs. He gets some other stuff to pursuit. Entei's a monster, and it's actually one of the two things he sniped for me this season. We were looking at Entei at kind of the mid rounds, and we got sniped. So Entei's a really good Pokemon. Typically, it's run adamant, so it can run extreme speed. So that's something to keep in mind, that it very likely is going to be adamant instead of jolly. So it'll lose a little bit of speed. Sacred Fire, obviously, super annoying. Ace speed, as I said. Stone Edge is there. It gets Iron Head, which isn't useful against me, but he gets it. Flare Blitz, definitely a Pokemon that's kind of scary for me to fight. The one thing we do take from this is that he's likely going to be adamant, so he's actually going to be slower than Zygarde. Tangrowth, the other mon he sniped from me. Me and Reiki were both very upset. I think he took Tang in the 3rd round, which I thought was a little early for Tang. So we didn't really have a shot, but we were 100% going to take Tang. But you guys are the Ramen Nation for a reason. Tang is my mascot. I know everything this thing can do. It's an insanely good Pokemon. Very underrated for a lot of the time. Very, very, very physically defensive. Lacks in special bulk, lacks in speed a little bit, but Assault Vest makes up for the special bulk a lot. This guy's coverage is off the freaking charts. Leaf Storm and Giga Drain, I believe it gets Sludge Bomb, it gets Earthquake, Knockoff, Focus Blast. It's actually crazy how much coverage Tangrowth gets. It's kind of insane when you really think about it. Definitely good mod, definitely something I expect to see because of certain Pokemon we have, namely a Zygarde. Quagsire, rounding out this insane bulk, is Quagsire, another Pokemon I fully expect this week. Gets Unaware, which is super good against us because of our setup Pokemon. One of the two relevant Unaware users, other than Clefable, obviously. Typically, this thing just stops setup sweepers. It'll be very, very good for stopping Scizor from setting up this week. Scald and Earthquake, Recover, Stockpile, gets Toxic, all that fun stuff. Zoroark, another really good mon. Lex, it's a little less good because of the fact you can see it coming a little bit, but obviously it can be Illusion, which can kind of screw with us. Clearly, but it's a good mon, 105 base speed, pretty strong. Loves to be sashed, so it can set up nasty plots for free hits when you don't know it's Zoroark yet. Dark Pulse Flamethrower, it actually has access to Event Sludge Bomb, which kind of sucks because that means it beats Primarina, where otherwise wouldn't. But what are you going to do? Electivire, another very good mod. 95, this guy's team is insane. 95 base speed, another really, really solid coverage mod. Can be physical. Can't really be special, but I've seen it before. If it runs special, typically it only runs Volt Switch for momentum. But very good coverage anyway. Gets Wild Charge, all the elemental punches, Earthquake, Cross Chop, Stone Edge, I think. Gets a ton of stuff, actually. And of course, like I said, Volt Switch for momentum. Can be Specs, or not Specs, you doofus. Can be Scarfed, but I don't expect that. Tapu Lele, oh my god, #1 pick in the draft, literally. What can be said about Tapu Lele that you guys don't know? Sets up Psychic Terrain. It is a monster. 95 base speed, easily Specs, easily Scarfed. It runs Train on the entire roster of Pokemon in general, while Specs. It's so fast with Scarf. He gets really solid coverage. Psychic, obviously, or Psyshock. Moonblast, Focus Blast, Shadow Ball. Can run Hidden Power Fire in this case, which would definitely be something I'm expecting. Definitely a scary Pokemon. The one saving grace about Lele is that if he's Scarfed, he has a hard time dealing with a core of Empoleon and Scizor. And if he's not, he's a little bit thunderous fodder, as you will see. So take that as you will. Nidoking, one of the strongest special attackers in the game, literally. Sheer Force Life Orb, such a monster. There's a slight chance he's Scarfed this week. He's got a lot of potential Scarfers, but I don't see that one, to be honest. He's got other potential Scarfers that I more see coming. Actually, Zoroark is the one I expect the most. I don't expect him to run a Scarf Lele, but he could. But anyway, Sheer Force Life Orb, this thing gets Sludge Wave, Earth Power, Poison Jab, Earthquake, all 3 elemental punches, Flamethrower, Ice Beam, Thunderbolt, Superpower, Sucker Punch, Rock Slide, Stone Edge. Insane coverage, hits very, very hard. Definitely something to fear on the week. Licky Licky. One of the mods I don't know much about, to be honest. I know Licky Licky's, I think, base 50. Actually, I have its page up right here just because. Licky Licky's base 50 speed. It's got 95 to both defenses, 85 attack, 80 speed, or 80 special attack, wow. 110 HP. So it's pretty bulky, actually very bulky, but no recovery. Really, not very offensive. It does get some good stuff, though. It can be very, very annoying, though. It does get Body Slam for the power chance. I actually think it gets Thunder Wave. I could be wrong. It has pretty solid coverage. I believe it gets Gyro Ball. When it's pretty slow, it gets Power Whip, I know. And it gets some other stuff. It's definitely a pretty solid mod. Not something I expect this week. It might get Flamethrower. Again, don't quote me on any of this. I'm not big on Licky Licky, so. Floatzel. Floatzel's another pretty good mod. It can be physical or special. It runs, or that thing where you can't get burned. Aqua Veil? Whatever it is. The one where you can't get burnt. So it can be a bulk up set. It gets Waterfall. It gets Ice Punch. It gets Aqua Jet. It gets Crunch. It gets some good stuff. So definitely Pokemon that could be coming. I'm not sure about it, though. And then we run off with Mesprit, one of the Lake Trio, of course, along with my Azelf. Does pretty much all the same stuff as Azelf. It's just slower and bulkier, and not nearly as offensive. But it can set up rocks, and it can Thunder Wave, and it can be kind of annoying. So he's got overall a really good team. Definitely got a lot of threats in there. Like every Pokemon you look at has the ability to do a lot of work. So definitely a team that we had to team build for very well, and I feel like we did so. So. You're gonna be in for a little bit of surprise. The first Pokemon I'm showing this week is Zygarde, and that means I am not running Scizor this week. Seriously, we didn't really think Scizor, like Scizor would have done work for sure, but he has his own Scizor. Now Mega Sizz wins the fight 1v1, but still he's got Entei, Quag kind of stuffs him. Lele's running Hidden Power Fire more than likely. Nidoking's running Flamethrower more than likely. So we didn't, it just wasn't something we were really looking for, not to mention the fact that Zoroark could be hidden and could hit us with a Flamethrower as well. So we just kind of steered away from him. Definitely would have done work in this game. It would have made Tangrowth setup fodder unless he was Hidden Power Fire, which to be honest he probably is. But what are you going to do? So we're starting off with Zygarde this week. We are running a Jolly leftover set. He's running 1,000 Hours, Dragonite, E-Speed, and Toxic. We're not running Substitute, I believe, for the first time. He's running 68 HP, 244 attack, and 196 speed, which is going to allow him to outspeed Admin Entei. Yet again, we steered away from attempting a speed tie with Lele, considering it could be scarfs and stuff. We just steered clear of running max speed, but he is faster than Admin Entei. Pretty simple set, 1,000 arrows, and E-speed pretty much does work against most of his team. Toxic is both for Tangrowth and for Unaware Quagsire. Now, if he's not unaware for whatever weird-ass reason, he does get destroyed by 1,000 arrows, but considering he's probably unaware, and because of Tangrowth, we decided to run Toxic and wear both of them down pretty easily, and it's definitely something that could be very handy for us. Playing with him pretty simple, just if Tangrowth is gone or if Quagsire's weakened or something, setting up a Dragon Dance does a crap ton of work against the entire team. Number 2, we're not doing that weird. We are running 2 of the 3 this week. It's Thunderous, and this is really, we kind of showed him off a little bit last week, but this is kind of the first real week where we're really showing Thunderous's dumb coverage, because we've been running pretty meta kind of stuff with like the Hidden Power Ices and the Focus Blast and stuff, but we're really going off on this one. So Thunderous is going to be timid, Volt Absorb obviously, and he is running our Z move yet again. This week he is running Electrium Z. He has 44 defense, 252 special attack, and 212 speed, which allows him to outspeed Tapu Lele. His moveset is pretty simplistic. Thunderbolt just hits things in general. Sludge Bomb is for Tangrowth and Lele. Clearly, Grass Knot is for Quagsire. Psychic is for Nidoking. Thunderbolt hits pretty much everything else. Electrium Z is for both for Bulky Scizor, Entei, or Tapu Lele, as Sludge Bomb actually does not quite one-tap Lele. But obviously Z Thunderbolt will. So that's just for pure power. It's more for Entei, I'd say, than anything else. But if we see an opportunity to kill something with it, I will use it. This thing's coverage pretty much destroys Nexus's entire team. Ironically, one of the mons that actually fight it off somewhat is Electivire, and can carry Ice Punch, but not too concerned about that. Definitely, again, Thunderous has the potential to just completely wreck train on this team. We will see if it does or not. Third this week is something we haven't run since week 1. It's going to be Empoleon this week. Empoleon's going to be pretty important, I'd say, for this game. He's running Calm, Torrent, and a Shukaberry. I believe, is this the first time we've run one of those berries? It might be. I'm not sure. He's running 252 HP, 252 special defense, 4 special attack, a completely special defensive nature. This thing is built to bait Nidoking specifically. The Shukaberry allows him to easily eat a single Earth Power, and I believe Nidoking lives really badly from Max, but if nothing else, it puts him in easy chip range for everything else on my team. But Scald, Rocks, Defog, and Ice Beam. Nexus's only hazard control is Scizor, so keeping Rocks up shouldn't be too hard. Rocks will be really nice specifically for Entei. It chips everything else on his team pretty well. It can actually help us scout slightly for Zoroark. Against things like, against Nidoking and Quagsire if he's running as that, because he won't take as much rock damage as he normally would. He's just your hazard control, hazard setting, and pretty much just overall damage after that. Scald hits pretty much everything on the entire team. Ice Beam is for Tangrowth specifically. We went back and forth running Flash Cannon for Tapu Lele, but Tapu Lele likely is running a Z fighting attack. Could very, very well run that with one-tap me. And it doesn't one-shot Lele anyway, so we just went with Scald. I feel like it made a little bit more sense. So Ice Beam is just to hit Tangrowth really hard. One thing we have to worry about is not letting Tangrowth get rid of our Shukaberry, whether it's by knockoff or by Earthquake, because we really would like that for Nidoking. Fourth on the team this week, we didn't run him last week. It's our one loss. Coincidence? I think not. No, probably though. It's going to be Doug Trio this week. Super important this week, 100%. As you've probably noticed, Nexus has quite a few weaknesses to ground. And quite a few things that, even though not weak to ground, don't really want to be trapped by Doug. He's running Jolly, Arena Trap, and a Focus Sash this week. Focus Sash is pretty important. He's 116 HP. That's a lot of health. 252 attack and 140 speed, which makes him faster than Zoroark specifically. We wanted to run Adamant, but unfortunately, if we run Adamant max speed, we're just speed tied with Zoroark, so that kind of sucks. If we could have been faster Adamant, we would have been Adamant, but oh well. Earthquake, Toxic, Reversal, and Sucker Punch this week. The Focus Sash is very important, as I said. It helps us fight E-Speed Entei. It helps us fight Scarf Zoroark, Scarf Lele, Scarf Nidoking. Pretty important there. He's built to trap Entei. He does, I think, one-shot Entei, or comes hella close to one-tapping Entei. Does get one-shot by E-Speed if the Sash is broken. That's the, even like if he takes rock damage, he's dead. It does one-shot him. But otherwise, we can take a hit, destroy him back with Earthquake. Toxic is again for Tangrowth and Quagsire. It's not likely he's able to switch into Tangrowth, but on the off chance he's running Shed Shell or he's in on Mesprit, then it does allow us to Toxic on the easy switch prediction. Sucker Punch is for Scarfers specifically. A weakened Lele or a weakened Nidoking or a weakened whatever, I can just hit it with Sucker Punch and try to kill it. So, pretty... Oh, almost dropped my DS. Almost dropped my DS and then unplugged it. Feels good, man. Hold on. Live recording, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry. Coming in fifth this week, we have Primarina yet again. Primarina's been pretty helpful for us this year. Loving it on the team. It's another very important mon this week. We are going Bold, Torrent, and Leftovers. 252 HP, 244 defense, 12 speed, which is just to ensure that we're faster than certain variants of Tangrowth or Licky Licky. He's running Scald Energy Ball, Light Screen, and Moonblast. Yet again, another pretty cool move, just like last week we ran Psych Up. It didn't really come in handy, but Light Screen very, very well should. The amount of special threats this guy has is insane. Namely Lele, but of course also Nidoking and Zoroark are both very threatening to the team, and Light Screen can be very, very important for us to fight him. Scalds for overall power. Clearly, Energy Balls for Quagsire, specifically Light Screen, as I said. Moonblast is for just general power. It hits Lele harder, obviously. It's for Zoroark and all that fun stuff. It's almost max defense. It's built to fight off Entei. Pretty much Entei does nothing to this. In practice runs, Reiki did not run Banded Entei, but he was actually running a natural gift Entei with an ice attack. He won it Zygarde with it. Was pretty funny. But he takes hits pretty easily. I believe non-banded E-Speed is like 20%. Obviously Sacred Fire, Flare Blast don't do anything, so pretty simple to fight off, and it's pretty much just for Entei. We don't need it for Entei specifically because Zygarde does beat it 1v1 pretty simply, but it's really nice, and it does hit the entire team pretty hard. So it's definitely something that we wanted to run this week. And rounding off the team this week is the reason it was the one we were going back and forth on was Scizor this week. My dog's gonna start barking. Wow, what an awkward time for someone to arrive at the house. If my dog starts barking, I'll apologize. I'll wrap this up kind of quick. Last up, we're running as of this week. It is running Timid, Levitate, and the Colbur Berry. It is 76 defense, 252 special attack, and 180 speed. The Colbur Berry is so we do not fear a Scarf Zoroark at all. Because if Scarf Zoroark's there and it leads or whatever, we don't see it coming. It could be very annoying to be faster than me and hit me with like a Dark Pulse or something. So that the Colbur Berry, so I can scout for Scarf Zoroark and also not care about it if it is Scarf Zoroark. It also helps you take knockoff from Assault Vest Tang and beat him 1v1. Pretty simple here on this set. We're running Psychic, U-Turn, Flamethrower, and Shadow Ball. Psychic is for overall power, clearly. Flamethrower is for both Scizor and Tangrowth. Shadow Balls for Lele, U-Turns for momentum. Nothing out of the ordinary here. We just ran the best coverage we could for his team. Azelf is going to be very important. We've run Azelf every week. It's been very, very important every week. It's going to be something huge for us this week, I predict. Definitely could be huge for Lele because it does wall off Lele pretty well, unless Specs Moonblast, or Spec Shadow Ball for that matter. But otherwise, it does take it very well. It is faster than any non-Scarf variant. Obviously, it does hit solidly hard with I believe it 2 taps with Shadow Ball, and with Light Screen, it actually just beats it 1v1 under all circumstances. So really nice. Definitely could be very useful, and we ran it over Scizor, so. Bet you guys didn't think you'd ever see a team without Scizor, huh? Maybe one week we'll run a team without Zygarde or Thundurus, but I doubt it. Who knows? We'll see. So the plan this week's pretty simple. Win. There's not really any coherent strategy in terms of what wants to do most of the work. Just everything here is built to do damage. We wear things down with Toxic on both Doug Trio and Zygarde. We do a bunch of damage with Azelf and Thundurus. We keep things in check with Primarine and Empoleon, and we pick up a win like that, hopefully, if all goes well. So, thank you guys for watching. My dog actually didn't bark. She might be sick. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. The battle will go up tomorrow, obviously, on Saturday, the March 25th. So, I hope you guys are ready for that. The Philadelphia Braviaries looking to go 4-1 and keep the momentum on our side this season. I certainly hope we can do that. You guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks again for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the Week 5 match as we take on NumbNexus and the Pittsburgh Pichus. Alright? Peace, Ramen Nation. See you guys in Week 5.